I was born 71 years ago at a place called Bukura in Busoso location. Especially when I'm called by my students who have succeeded, I feel very good. Well, some of them greet me very happily, tell me how I changed their lives. Some of them just feel good. Some give me lunch, give me some transport, some give me soda. But generally, they are very happy, they are very respectful. Well, I don't know if I was inspired or just looking for a job. Actually, it was more of a job. I don't think I was inspired, but I think I always believe it's my mother who made me become a teacher because she said one time she said you will be a very good teacher. So even though I try to resist, I think I just found myself there. And when I was there is when I remembered, but I never planned to be a teacher, by the way. They were quite okay. They are happy. They are very happy. I trained in Kenyatta University from the year 1978 to 1981. The training was, I don't know in what sense, but it was a bit, challenging. In fact, I always wonder, I always told myself if I had not gotten education, maybe I would not have made it. Because it was a bit difficult, and the course I wanted was even harder. So I thought education was just my right one. I wanted medicine. I don't know if I can prioritize them, but generally my college time was very good. I enjoyed every part of it. It's only when it came to some subjects that they were giving me a hard time, but some units. But most of my time in college was, I think it is, apart from when I was in Form 1 and Form 4, there's no other education time that I remember most. I remember most my O-level education from 1 to Form 4. I also remember much that training of mine from 78 to 81. I can't really point out why I liked it, but I just liked my time. I really enjoyed it. I had a problem facing the students. So I could just talk facing the board sometimes. Sometimes I would talk facing down. But I used to do most of the time I would write. So I would write whatever I'm saying. As I'm saying, I'm writing. So there was no time for explaining. So later when I learned it, I explain fast, then I write. But I got used to. Oh, they tell me a lot because we used to have micro teaching. Yeah, the kind of students I found were not like us. Me, I was expecting that you would just say something and the student would go and come out. But I found that no, you say and say, you say and repeat, and even when you say something, nobody remembers that you say it. And even if you give work to do, you have to force them to bring the work, unlike our days. I just became harsh. Or just sit there and say, if you did not bring your book, go and bring. Go on. It works so well. It works so well. In fact, that's why many students remember. My subject combination was chemistry first, then some physics. Mm. When I was teaching in Nakuru High School, I got a mean score of 8 point something, 8.3. I've never gotten that. That school had never gotten that, and even after I left, I've never gotten that. Like when I was in Kamusinga, there was a student who had done general science. Then he wants to do A level chemistry, which was very difficult. So every question, everything you say, he asks, "What is that?" Everything you say, "What is that? What is that?" I remember you say something like oxidation state. What is that? Oxidation state is oxidation number. What is that? Oxidation number is the number of electrons an atom loses when it's reacting. Now, what is that? So he kept asking, and then I wondered, now, where am I supposed to start? So some of the things are assumed, and now this one, you want me to go back to Form 1? Even I think he dropped out. Another one, I remember when I was teaching again, well, there's so many, when I was teaching organic chemistry in Mumias, there was a boy called Ambunya. Ambunya was the chairman of CU, and so we could meet in CU. Now, when he comes to class, organic chemistry knows structures. So Ambunya, when you tell him anything you tell him, he could just draw a long structure, carbon with hydrogen. Then when you ask him, what is this? He says what you have asked. If you say like, okay, draw for me the structure of pentane molecule. So you draw that structure. When you ask him, what is this? He says it's pentane. So which pentane is this? My name is pentane. And you keep quiet. So when you say you're correct, then you give another one. You will say now we have moved from pentane. Now we have gone to hexane. Can you now draw the structure of hexane? He draws the same long structure. When we ask him, what is this? He said, this is hexane. I said, so I just got amused. Now what could I do? And students are so funny. There are so many things. There's another one who every answer you ask, sulfuric acid. All he knew was sulfuric acid. When you ask what catalyst do you use here, sulfuric acid. What do you get when you ask this sulfuric acid? The only thing you know is sulfuric acid, bwana. Hakuna kitu kingine unajua. He just laughs. But he ended up getting a C. I always just wonder how he got this. I was the chairman of CU. I always connect the services in the school, so I used to think I was helping them. They have a lot of impact because first, there are many. Second, they are together with the most population. They are with the people because they go home and come back, go home and come back. They employ them, they talk with them, they discuss with them. They are in so many groups, churches, home. Nowadays we have a lot of chamas. There are members there, so they actually have a lot of effect on the society. They really shape the direction of society so much. I believe so. I was teaching for 34 years, and students nowadays, they have really changed. First, I would I would think they don't see the use of learning. Actually, the learning just bothers them, and I support them because after all, even there are no jobs. So why struggle and then you end up just at home? So the interest is not there. They have lost interest. The teachers do more work than the students nowadays, but they are very different. What I wish they would understand, they will know how the teachers are the only ones who give an account of their work. The teachers will always give an account of their work. Mm. That's what I would wish for them to know. That there's no way a teacher can hide. Because if it is teaching a child how to write, the child will know how to write and everyone can see this child has known how to write. If it is teaching a child how to do some mathematics or balance chemical equations, everybody will see. So the parents and the society would understand that the teachers actually they are a very important part. Yeah, it influenced because I could see the way my students were behaving in school. It's the same way my children were behaving. So I just had to understand. Teaching the time I was living, I was wishing I would live faster. Everything had become, what do you call, electrical, what do you call this new model of doing things? Opposite of analog is what? Digital. Everything had become digital and I was not good at it. So I really wished I would live fast. So I just miss those days when I could teach and the students could understand. I would mark and I find the students have gotten it, have gotten the point. That's the only thing I miss. But where you do the work, you teach, and the students get the work, they even mark they have gotten it. When you bring in the exam, they don't get. That's the most disappointing bit of it. Wondering what to do next. I keep my animals here, dig my burger, look for grass for my cows. I look at them. Sometimes I just go and look at them and feel good. Sometimes I can just go and count how many trees I have. I just spend my time just at the home. Then I go to the market, I come back, go to church, I come back. I'm actually very busy. Very, very busy indeed. Young teachers, now that the students are not the same as we had, but I will tell them to make sure that they do their best. They do their best. They put in all they can. But nowadays things have really changed because nowadays even if you go to school, you cannot teach the way you want. I think this thing called competition, the principal will want you to teach the way he wants. You can't teach your own way. Even when I was leaving school, that's one of the things that I really liked it because you are not given your own students to teach. They want that they believe everything should be done in groups, group work, everything. And group work. Sometimes you don't know where the weak point is. So I can just tell the present teachers to make sure that what they are putting in is their best. best thing, because in our time, when we were teaching, we were the most lowly paid. The teachers were the most lowly paid, but nowadays I think they are okay. They are a bit, they are so, not so far from the other workers. So if the government can remember that we really worked with the lowest pay, they will really appreciate us. What's what you have in mind, but when I was a teacher, the thing that disturbed me most, there were some principals. I had several, I worked under several principals. Some of them were actually very good. They would look at you individually, personally, to get, to assess you and know what you are capable of doing and what you are not capable of doing. Others will just sit in office and wait to be told. Wait to be told what Suma is doing, Suma is doing, Suma is doing. So those ones normally ended up with a wrong picture of who I am. So this thing of principles, I don't know how they work nowadays, but I wish if the principals would go out of their way themselves to find out what a teacher is for themselves without relying on what they are told, it would be better. Because I mean, that's something that defeated me. Most of the teachers what do you say? Sell themselves, make sure that they present their picture to the principal, the picture they want. They would present it to the principal. Sometimes they will present a wrong picture. Me, I was very poor at that. I was not good at that. I would like somebody just to discover who I am by himself. I don't know if I'm making sense, but that is kujipendekeza. I was not very good.
Thank you so much for your time.
Uh,
We wish you continued best with your time.
so,
Asante.
so